and I'm the Chief Customer Officer at AppsFlyer, and I'm going to speak today about building significant relationships at scale. A bit about me. I'm a father of 3 boys under 11. I'm living in Kfar Saba. I was employee number 7 at AppsFlyer a little bit over 8 years ago, and my personal motto, I believe in work hard, be kind, and maximize relationships. If you want to contact me after this session, I'm available on LinkedIn. A little bit about AppsFlyer. We provide marketers with a platform that enables them to make the best marketing decisions. And about client services, we are a little bit over 300 people globally, and customer success above 230 people. So let's start speaking about building significant relationship at scale. First of all, our most valuable and impactful resource is a limited one, relationships. We should do our best to excel and optimize our significant relationships with our customers. Let's start at our customer success vision. First, our mission statement is listen, learn, and help customers achieve their desired outcomes while building long-term relationships. How did we get there? So we started a few years ago with this equation that I saw in one of the customer success exhibitions. We improved it a little bit, and in the end, if you look at that customer experience, multiple customer outcome is what's going to drive customer success. The customer outcome is everything that is value to customers. It's what customers are actually, the reason they even buy our solution. And the customer experience, I translate that to relationship, but it's comprised of so many different things. Let's look for a second on the pyramid of customer success. Everything is built on trust, and I'll present it in a second. Then when we already have trust with the customer, then we are providing value and then more and more value. This is in B2B SaaS, we need to continuously drive value to customers. And only after that, we have the ability to build and deepen relationships. If we go back to the CX, as I said, I translate that to relationships, but customer experience is built of the entire journey, and in the beginning, I built it in an equation, the marketing experience, and then the buying experience, and then the onboarding experience, the service experience, and then the product experience. It's much, much easier to view that on the customer journey. So if we look at that in the customer journey, I take here Walmart as an example of one of our best journeys with one of the enterprise customers using AppsFlyer. Then in the marketing experience, they started to read about us. They started to maybe ask some people about AppsFlyer, and then they get some marketing experience. There's no trust, no value, of course, no relationship. In the buying experience, they start to engage with our salespeople, maybe pre-sale. We are building trust. You can say we are building some superficial relationship, but not the relationship that I'm looking for. So then the next stage for us is, in some companies, maybe POCs, but for AppsFlyer, mainly sales. And then here, we're converting Walmart to start using us. This is the most crucial part. We have a lot of trust. They decided to buy AppsFlyer, but now it's on us to execute. It's on us to demonstrate the value. It's on us to deliver the value. And this is the onboarding stage where usually I say this is the honeymoon phase. What we'll do here, what we will deliver here, the success that we will bring here, that's what they are going to remember. And this is, as you can see in the triangle, we are starting to show some of the value here. If we were fully successful here, we showed a lot of value, and now it's our opportunity to start building relationships. And here we need to double down the work of the CSM, and I'll speak about it later as well. It's to identify, when we speak about enterprise customers, we speak about a lot of stakeholders, a lot of people that we are engaging with. In Walmart, we can engage with 50 people. We, in the end, need to engage, build relationship with 5 to 6 significant relationships among Walmart. One of the key roles of the CSM is to identify who are those 5, 6 people. And then later on, when we already built the relationship, now it's our opportunity to deepen it and also to identify advocates. So not everyone will be advocates. When we identify those, then we can definitely take it to the next level. Advocates helps us grow this account. They also help us grow other accounts, prospects, etc. So that was the journey. To summarize the role of the CSM, revenue is secondary. We're non-commercial. The CSM is a domain expert. And we need to know the customer very, very well. So also personal relationship, but we need to also know the customer and their needs, their KPIs, their challenges. If we build an amazing relationship with 1, 2, 3 people, probably we will also know the challenges that our customers have, and then we will have an amazing opportunity. A little bit about tools and processes. So this is the day of a usual B2B SaaS CSM, working with enterprise customers. We're interacting with so many different people internally in the company and externally with customers and partners. This is a nice view of our tech stack. I think that even a company that is now in the beginning of building the CS stack or building the CS department could take a lot of inspiration of that. I think we need to focus on what is that we must have this year. What do we need to develop? Maybe we need just an analyst and we don't need the platform this year, and then later next year we'll take a platform. For us, Salesforce is the database, is the source of truth. Looker is our BI. All the insights are there, and these are both tools for the entire department. And then we have a few technologies like Troops, Gong, that helps us get more insights into these databases. In the end, the role of the CSM is to do many different activities every day. The roles of my role and the role of leaders is to translate the company's SaaS metrics, growth, margin, net revenue retention, gross revenue retention, and to push it down to translate that to activities to CSMs. Now, looking a little bit about that, a little bit more focused about that, this is the journey. This is the customer journey, and this is how I look at that. So first of all, we have frameworks. We have 4 layers here for frameworks. Everything is built on relationships, so this is the first layer. Then a little bit more on the commercial side. We have pre-sales, CS qualified leads, CS qualified opportunities. Then we have more focus on the value, onboarding review, success outcomes, the QBRs, focused on the value. And the last thing is more, I'll say, renewal strategy. So also looking at the red flags, the negative parts, and also the positive parts of looking at the renewal, the upside renewal. On that, we have our KPIs. So the lagging KPIs, the GRR and NRR, the gross revenue retention and the net revenue retention. And on that, we have some leading indicators, the new businesses, the number of CS qualified opportunities, the revenue bridge, and then we have a lot of other measurements and metrics to be leading indicators for either revenue or value. Continuing on that point, in the end, B2B SaaS company goals looks at 3 areas. So we want to retain our customers, retain our revenue. We want to upsell and drive more revenue from existing customers. And of course, we want to drive more new customers from new logos. And I listed a few of the activities that we're doing in each and every area. But let's start speak more about relationships. So continuing on the last point from the last part, the company goals are still upsell, retention, and new logos. Now, let's speak a little bit about the relationship value for those goals. So upsell, if we build an amazing relationship and if we understand the customer, this customer not only share their KPIs with us, but also their challenges, then we are not only are able to upsell them, we're also able to work with the product team and to build new products that will generate more revenue in the future. So that's on the upsell side. On retention, if we have an amazing relationship into the account, probably we will know about risks sooner and we will be able to act on that earlier. And the last thing about new logos, that's the focus I spoke a bit before about advocacy. If we build better relationships, if we build deeper relationship, we drive more advocacy. These advocates helps us generate a lot more revenue. And I think that, everything that I'll say about relationships going forward, we need to remember that B2B is actually H2H. Everything in B2B SaaS, everything in the SaaS business becomes, even in enterprise, becomes more human. And our customers expect an account manager, a customer success manager, a solution architect, someone human on the other side to interact with, to understand them, to help them achieve their goals. Now, looking a little bit about relationship and each and every one of us as a person and why it's so hard to build and maintain relationships. So these relationships here that we look at on the personal side, we have our family, we have our close family, the second and third ring, we have friends, we have work friends, we have people that we know for many years. And then when you look at the work relationships, we have, first of all, as we work in bigger and bigger companies, we need to maintain a lot of more relationships in the company. And then we have our customers and our partners. And if I manage 5 or 7 or even 10 enterprise customers, then probably I will need to maintain a lot of relationships. And here, I want to introduce you to Dunbar. So Dunbar is a professor, an English professor that is researching relationships for over 20 years now. And he found out that the limbic brain has a limit. In the end, just like the CPU and the RAM in a computer, we have a limit of around 150 seats for our significant relationships among our family, close family, people we work with, our closest friends, and customers. So in the end, when I started around 2.5 years ago to work on the relationship framework, this was maybe the first thing that I thought about, is that how can we help customer success managers scale, broaden our limit of 150 to 250, 350 with some methodology, with some process, and maybe even a tool. So, and we built it all, and I'll show today a little bit of it. But in the end, first of all, you need to know your limit. Next, let's speak a little bit about relationships and what's driving it. So first of all, relationships are based on interactions. So there's an interest in any relationship, and there's intelligence. So we bring intelligence to the relationship. We need to have that intelligence in order to understand what should we do, what that relationship wants from us. And as I said before, it's all built on value. We always need to think about, when I'm focused on customer relationship, we need to think about what's in it for them, why they are speaking with us, why they want to interact with us again and again. And it's all about the experience. We need to wow the experience. Every time that we have the opportunity to wow the experience, it can be something small, like being very responsive. It can be something bigger, maybe delivering something that customer needs. And in the end, we need to make sure that we remember all these things together. So what's in it for them? What do we know about them? The intelligence part is a lot about what do we know about them, and we need to take into account always to think about the experience. Maya Angelou here with the amazing sentence about I've learned people will forget what you said to them, and people will forget what you did for them, but people will always remember how you made them feel. And this is how it's connected to the onboarding, it's connected to remembering things about our customers. And we should always, when we think about relationships, when we think about customer experience, we need to take that sentence into account. And in Q4, we found an amazing validation into the frameworks and processes and tools that we already develop. Here we can show, and I cannot show all the data, so this is for public. I can show that you can see, as the CSM builds more significant relationships, the net revenue retention is improving, and it's improving by almost 60% from the accounts that we don't have any significant relationships to the accounts that we have more than 10. And also on NPS, we can see that on the total one, also on tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and 4, we see an amazing gap. But here on the total, we can definitely see that there's a gap of around 180% higher NPS when we have significant relationships. Key takeaways from my presentation today. 1, experience is how we make people feel, and it's what they will remember. Know your capacity and increase it, and it's impactful. Thank you.